Deep in the woods, Keller Dover stands beside his teenage son, Ralph, teaching him how to hunt. Before taking the shot, Keller whispers a quick prayer. Ralph fires and successfully brings down a deer. On their walk home, Keller shares a lesson passed down from his own father. Always be ready. Pray for the best, but prepare for the worst. It's a belief he lives by. Back home, we meet the rest of the Dover family, Keller's fragile wife, Grace, and their young daughter, Anna. It's Thanksgiving Day, and they head over to celebrate with close friends, Franklin and Nancy Birch. Their daughter, Joy, is Anna's best friend, inseparable and the same age. While the adults prepare dinner, the children head outside to play. Anna and Joy wander ahead and briefly notice a worn-down RV parked strangely in the neighborhood. From inside, someone watches them. After dinner, the girls ask permission to walk back to the Dover house to retrieve Anna's red emergency whistle. The adults agree, assuming the older kids are with them. But as time passes, something feels wrong. Ralph and Eliza revealed they never went with the girls. Panic spreads instantly. The neighborhood search begins. Doors are knocked on. Names are shouted. No response. Then Ralph remembers the RV. The fathers rush to where it was parked, but it's gone. The police are called. Detective Loki enters the story. Quiet, intense, known for never losing a case. He tracks down the RV quickly, chasing it into the woods after the driver crashes. Inside, there are no girls, only the driver, Alex Jones, who behaves strangely, almost childlike. He refuses to answer questions clearly. At the station, interrogation reveals Alex has the mental capacity of a child. He lives with his aunt, Holly. Forensics find no evidence in the RV. With nothing concrete, the law allows only 48 hours of detention. For Keller, that's not enough. When Alex is released, Keller confronts him outside the station. Alex leans in and whispers something chilling. "They didn't cry until I left them." To Keller, that sounds like a confession. From that moment, something inside him snaps.
Convinced the system has failed him, Keller begins watching Alex after his release. The whisper won't leave his mind. In Keller's eyes, it wasn't confusion, it was guilt. That night, anger overrides reason. Keller abducts Alex and takes him to an abandoned apartment building he owns through his construction business. The place is isolated, forgotten, and soundproof enough to keep secrets buried. He chains Alex inside a small bathroom and begins demanding answers. At first, it's just questions, then threats, then violence. Franklin is dragged into the plan. He's horrified at what Keller has done, but he's also desperate. Joy is his daughter. Every minute that passes feels like a death sentence. Torn between morality and fatherhood, Franklin reluctantly agrees to help. Alex cries, confused and terrified. He insists he doesn't know where the girls are. His behavior remains childlike. But Keller sees every denial as manipulation. Meanwhile, Detective Loki continues his investigation the right way. He visits Holly, Alex's aunt, who explains that Alex lost his parents when he was young. His development stopped emotionally. She insists he's harmless. Forensics confirm there was no evidence in the RV, no fibers, no blood, nothing. Still, Loki isn't satisfied. He tracks down every reported RV sighting in past missing children cases. A disturbing pattern begins to form. While visiting a local priest, Father Patrick Dunn, Loki makes a horrifying discovery. Behind a hidden door in the priest's basement lies a decomposing body. The priest confesses that the man had claimed to murder 16 children. Unable to turn him in, the priest took justice into his own hands. The case grows darker. Back at the abandoned apartment building, Keller escalates his torture. He rigs a shower system to simulate drowning. He beats Alex repeatedly. He starves him. Each scream only fuels Keller's belief that he's close to the truth. Franklin begins breaking under the guilt. He questions whether they might be torturing an innocent man, but Keller refuses to consider that possibility. At a candlelight vigil, the entire community gathers to pray for Anna and Joy. Hope is fading. It's been 2 days. At the vigil, Loki notices a nervous man watching from a distance. When their eyes meet, the man runs. Loki chases him but loses him in the dark. A police sketch is released. Franklin sees the news and begs Keller to reconsider. If Alex was guilty, why would there be another suspect? But Keller clings to the whisper. They didn't cry until I left them. To him, that's proof. The following day, police identify the man from the vigil as Bob Taylor. Loki tracks him down to his cluttered, decaying home. Inside, he finds locked boxes filled with children's clothing and disturbing maze drawings. There are snakes, rotting food, psychological decay. But forensic tests reveal something unexpected. The blood on the clothing isn't human. Bob Taylor was once an abducted child himself. He's broken, damaged, obsessed with mazes. Before Loki can extract real answers, Bob grabs an officer's gun during interrogation and takes his own life. Another dead end. And the clock keeps ticking.
5 days have passed since Anna and Joy disappeared. Time is no longer just passing, it's suffocating. Back in the abandoned building, Alex is barely conscious, bruised, bloodied, broken, yet he continues repeating the same thing. I didn't take them. Franklin reaches his limit. The guilt is eating him alive. He confesses everything to Nancy. Shocked and horrified, she demands to see Alex for herself. When she enters the dim bathroom and sees what they've done, she gasps. Alex looks less like a suspect and more like a victim. She begs him to help them find Joy. In a moment of weakness, she removes his restraints. Alex suddenly lashes out and tries to escape. Keller and Franklin manage to stop him just in time. The chaos only deepens the moral fracture between them. Franklin decides he won't participate anymore, but he also won't turn Keller in. Meanwhile, something terrifying happens. The mysterious man from the vigil secretly breaks into the Birch home. Eliza is upstairs and doesn't notice. He leaves quietly. Then he enters the Dover house. Grace hears movement in Anna's room and believes for a split second that her daughter has come home. But the man disappears again into the night. Police are called. Loki senses something isn't adding up. Keller claims he's been helping police searches, but Loki knows that's not true. The next morning, Loki confronts Keller. His answers are weak, defensive, emotional. Keller explodes, prying that for 6 days his daughter has been somewhere, wondering why her father hasn't rescued her. The desperation is raw. But Loki keeps working the evidence. He revisits Bob Taylor's maze drawings. Something about them feels symbolic, not directions, but conditioning, psychological trauma. Then he remembers the corpse found in Father Patrick's basement. The dead man had been wearing a necklace engraved with a maze, the same symbol. Loki begins connecting a bigger pattern, decades of child disappearances tied to RV sightings and maze symbolism. This isn't random, this is systematic. At the hospital, Joy is found alive, barely conscious, traumatized. Keller rushes to her bedside and tries to question her, but doctors push him back. When Joy finally wakes, she whispers something that changes everything. "You were there." Keller freezes. She wasn't talking about him. She was remembering something else. A realization crashes into him like lightning. Without saying a word, Keller leaves the hospital and drives straight to Holly's house. He now believes the truth is closer than anyone realizes.
Keller arrives at Holly's house, trying to act calm. He tells her he feels responsible for Alex running away. Holly listens quietly, offering him tea. Her expression is unreadable. As they sit at the table, she speaks about losing her son to cancer. She describes the grief, the anger, the loss of faith. Something in her tone feels hollow. Keller subtly asks about the maze symbol, pretending he has seen it in dreams. For the first time, Holly's eyes sharpen. Meanwhile, Detective Loki returns to the abandoned building, suspecting Keller is hiding something. Instead, he finds Alex chained and barely alive. Horrified, Loki calls for medical assistance and begins questioning how this connects to everything else. But Keller isn't there. Back at Holly's house, the mask finally slips. Holly pulls out a gun. She forces Keller to handcuff himself to a pipe. Then she makes him drink a sedative-laced beverage. As the drug weakens him, she calmly reveals the truth. Years ago, after losing their son, she and her husband declared war on God. They decided to punish other parents by abducting their children, destroying their faith the way theirs had been destroyed. They didn't kill immediately. They made parents suffer first. Bob Taylor had also been one of their captives. The dead man in the priest's basement? Her husband. The maze wasn't a map. It was a symbol of psychological imprisonment. Anna is still alive. Holly leads Keller outside to her backyard. Hidden beneath the car is a concealed hatch, an underground pit, a literal maze chamber where children had been held for years. When Keller refuses to climb down, she shoots him in the leg and pushes him inside. The door slams shut above him. Darkness, mud, children's belongings scattered like ghosts. Keller finds Anna's red whistle on the ground. He breaks down. Above ground, Loki arrives at Holly's home to inform her that Alex has been found alive. The front door is unlocked. Inside, he notices a framed photo of Holly's husband. Around his neck, the maze necklace. The connection snaps into place. Loki draws his gun and searches the house. Upstairs, he finds Holly injecting Anna with a sedative. Gunfire erupts. Holly falls. Loki is grazed but alive. Anna is rescued, traumatized but breathing. The nightmare is finally exposed. But Keller is missing. Rain pours as emergency lights flood Holly's property. Police swarm the house. Evidence is collected. The truth, buried for decades, begins surfacing piece by piece. Anna is rushed to the hospital. She survives. Detective Loki survives. But Keller Dover is nowhere to be found. The next morning, news spreads quickly. Alex's real name is revealed to be Barry Miller. After 26 years, he is reunited with his biological family, a victim all along. Grace sits quietly in the hospital room, holding Anna's hand. Relief mixes with something heavier, dread. She knows what Keller did. Even if he is found alive, prison may be waiting. At home, Ralph struggles with everything that has happened. His image of his father, strong, controlled, prepared, has cracked. Meanwhile, Loki stands at Holly's property as search teams continue digging through the yard. The underground chamber is exposed. Children's belongings, evidence of unimaginable cruelty.
years of suffering hidden beneath ordinary suburban soil. The scale of Holly's crimes is overwhelming, but one question lingers. Where is Keller? As officers begin packing up equipment, Loki pauses. He tilts his head. At first it sounds like the wind. Then he hears it again. A faint, distant whistle. Soft, weak, almost swallowed by the rain. Loki looks around slowly, scanning the yard. Another whistle. Anna's red whistle. Somewhere underground. The camera holds on Loki's face as realization begins to dawn. He doesn't know exactly where the sound is coming from, but he knows it's real. For a moment he stands still, listening. The screen fades to black before we see what he decides, leaving one final question hanging in the silence. Will he dig, or will Keller Dover remain a prisoner forever?